Hello, I'm Michael.
I'm Sally, and this is Wrestle MSX.
So we start with a recap of AJ Styles' non-retirement from last week. Then cut backstage to see a rather angry looking Cody Rhodes waiting for Styles to arrive.
We then see the Bloodline heading for the ring, for Tanga Loa to be anointed into the Bloodline. Once in the ring, Paul Heyman confirmed really, that until Roman Reigns returns, Solo Sikoa sits at the head of the table. Tama Tonga will now be known as Tama Tonga, the right-hand man, and Tanga Loa will be the infamous Tanga Loa. Heyman then wrapped up by saying thank you and good night. Solo stopped the thank yous and the goodbyes by saying to Heyman, "Don't you need to thank Tama and Tonga for saving your life?" Referring to when they intervened just as Kevin Owens was about to attack Heyman last week.
Heyman begrudgingly thanked them, then said that Owens is looking for a piece of the bloodline. He's probably looking for the old damn thing. Anyway, cue KO's music. Owens took it to the bloodline to start with, but the numbers were just too overwhelming for him in the end. Luckily, he still has friends in the back, and out came the Street Profits to save the day. The good guys soon got the upper hand though, with the help of a chair wielded by Owens. All three members of the bloodline getting a taste of steel before the Street Profits and Owens cleared the ring.
Back from the break, we see Solo ordering Heyman to speak to Nick Aldis to organise a 6-man tag match between the Bloodline and Kevin Owens and the Street Profits for later tonight. We then get interrupted by the now infamous QR code.
Scanning the code takes you to a Word-type document straight out of Windows 95. I think Uncle Howdy could do with an upgrade. After reading the many words on the aforementioned Word doc, there's the usual things you can click on which leads to a video. The video has the usual stuff: we're coming, repent, you're all dead.
Did it?
No, it didn't say that. Nothing new to speak of here. Roll on the 17th of June when all these QR codes are done. But they won't be, will they? You know there'll be more.
After this, we have Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill against Indi Hartwell and Candice LeRae. As the bell rang and the match begun, we see Albe Fire and Isla Dawn approach the ring from the timekeeping area, and then Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark heading down the entranceway. To our surprise, there was no outside interference.
I can't believe that.
And after Cargill picked up a hot tag, proceeded to clean house and pick up the 3 count by covering Hartwell for the win. Hartwell succumbing to Cargill and Belair's combo finisher. As Jade and Bianca celebrated, that was when the carnage began. Baszler, Stark, Fire and Dawn all entered the ring. With Cargill and Belair dispatched, the 2 tag teams fought amongst themselves. That is, until Belair and Cargill regrouped and cleared house, once again standing tall alone in the ring.
Backstage again to see Cody Rhodes still pacing up and down in the loading bay, waiting for AJ Styles to arrive.
After the break, we get a word from Apollo Crews, but he's jumped by Santos Escobar and his crew. LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes then get booked for a match later, now there's a spot open. Crews got injured during his attack and won't be able to perform. Thanks for coming, Apollo.
Back to ring action, we have Johnny Gargano against Grayson Waller, each man accompanied by their tag team partners Champa and Theory. Waller controlled most of the match before Gargano managed to pull off some kind of half-looking Canadian destroyer. Now, personally, I love that move. You hardly ever see it. It looks so devastating when it's pulled off correctly. It's really a piece of work. But the problem is, it's been overused in AEW with about 10 a week, just like the super kicks. There's too many. Let's just rein it in a little bit, and let's just keep those. It's lost some gravitas, but. Brilliant move. Anyway, Gargano then got a suicide dive in on Theory, meant for Waller, but this didn't change the outcome. Waller hitting an unpretty on Gargano for the win.
Back from the break, we see AJ Styles arriving, hanging out the sunroof of his car. As
like he just graduated university. He's like, whoa!
As Rhodes approaches the car, security get in the way, and then Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows exit the car to block Rhodes' path too. Not being able to get through, Rhodes heads to the ring. Upon arriving there, Cody calls Styles out. Styles heads out from the back, demanding a title shot at Clash at the Castle. Rhodes agrees, but it ain't going to be a normal match, it's going to be an I Quit match, Rhodes stipulates. Aldis happens to be at ringside and gives it the thumbs up, confirming the match. So Styles, Rhodes, I Quit match for the undisputed title at Clash at the Castle.
Should be good.
Yeah.
This will be good, that one now, instead of just a
Looking
standard
forward to that. Yeah.
standard match. Anyway, after yet another break, we see Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair leaving Nick Aldis's office. But he's just been at ringside anyway. They tell Byron Saxton that a triple threat match has been agreed between them, Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark, and Albe Fire and Isla Dawn for the Women's Tag Team Championships at Clash at the Castle. So again, that's not a bad match now.
Yeah.
Rather than just
that'd be good.
two teams, more interesting.
Next up, Carmelo Hayes versus LA Knight. A springboard clothesline gets Hayes a 2 count after a very back and forth match. Hayes goes for the pin, but on 2, Knight rolls out into another pinning move himself, getting the win. After the match, Knight grabs Wade Barrett's headphones and speaks directly to Logan Paul on the mic attachment. Knight says, "If you ain't come to SmackDown, then SmackDown is coming to you."
Is he going to drive the trucks to... Well, anyway. We then see Tiffany Stratton telling Nia Jax she has got her back before walking off. Then we see Michin throwing a drink over the Queen of the Ring before a scuffle breaks out and the two are separated.
Bayley's in the ring next and about to talk about her match with Piper Niven at Clash at the Castle. She gets interrupted by Chelsea Green and Niven herself. Bayley tells Piper that she has respect for her, but Niven's having none of it, saying she's going to bury Bayley's head in the mat.
Ouch. We then cut to Logan Paul in LA, apparently. He tells LA Knight to go back to the midcard because Logan Paul only deals with real champions.
Last match of the night, Kevin Owens and the Street Profits against the Bloodline. Fast, hard-hitting and brutal as the Bloodline dismantle Montez Ford. A Swanton gets a 2 count for Owens and then a stunner nearly wins it for KO, but for interference and the pin being broken. Ford then launches himself at the Bloodline from the top rope to the outside of the ring. With the match getting out of hand, it comes to its conclusion when Ford gets hit with a chair by Solo.
The referee then rings the bell, ending the match. Owens then gets powerbombed through the announcer's table, and SmackDown goes off the air with the Bloodline standing over the battered body of Kevin Owens, acknowledging once again. And we like to acknowledge you by thanking you for watching.
And we'll see you again soon.